much. Learning in progress. All right. So in honor of the new year, which believe it or not is happening in a week. I know. It's like you said, they're going to school. Then they come home. Then they go to school. And we're not having class next week because it's right before Rosh Hashanah. That's tomorrow. That's Monday night. And then we have one class. Right. And then we have Yom Kippur, and then forget it. We're off till after Sukkot. So like us and your kids the same. But for today. All right. So I was thinking our like we call it New Year resolutions, or what we want to focus on a little bit for the year. What should be an incredible priority for us is marriage, is children. But we're gonna talk about marriage. And I think the new year is a time to like really like put a new shot of something in our marriage, put a new shot of something, whatever we're focusing on. And I'm trying to get the best angle here, trying to ignore the screen that exists and get the best angle to see everyone. And I think for those of you that want to space out for the next hour or so, the one word that I think is really important, and then I'm going to spend an hour talking about it, in life in general, with our kids as well, but we're talking about our marriage, is positivity. Positivity is such a huge factor. It's scary how huge it is because some people by nature are very pessimistic and negative. It's scary because even if you're not by nature pessimistic and negative, when we're stressed, when we're tired, when we're uncomfortable, we more veer into that mode. But positivity has such a power to change things. So now that I told you everything I'm going to say, we're going to talk about it in lots and lots and lots of different ways about how you can revitalize. Take something good and make it great. Your marriage by really working hard on positivity. P.S. If you say, I need this more for my kids, I need this more for my job, you can apply it to any other arena. So it's true for everything in life. We're going to focus on marriage. But everything I'm saying about marriage, you can apply to any other area because it's true for everything. So I want to talk about in a practical way, meaning I don't think anyone's disagreeing with me. And I don't think I will say, no, life is much better when you're negative. Life is much better when you're cautious and scared. I mean, I feel everyone in the world, I feel the biggest pandemic now is fear. People are so fear-based.
Why? I don't get it.
It's like you're it's a contagious disease. You're terrified of corona, or you're terrified of the vaccine, or you're terrified of both, or you're terrified of the government, or you're terrified. Is it just me? I mean, I feel so many people I speak to, they have such fears, intense fears of what's happening in the world, fears of the breakdown, fears of what's going on in Australia, fears, there's so much fear in this world. And we really, besides staying off news and social media and everything else whose job is to evoke fear, we really, I think, have to really put out positive energy. And when we put out positive energy, like it should ripple and help a lot of other people. Like maybe if you're just saying, hey, I'm working on my marriage and I'm working on being positive in my marriage, but you don't know, maybe your neighbor is just going to be perfumed by your energy and she's going to be more positive in something else. And then maybe her actions are going to be more positive in something else. Life, our energy ripples and impacts other people, whose energy then ripples and impacts other people, whose energy ripples and impacts other people. So literally, and again, if you haven't experienced it, that's good. I'm not trying to convince you that people are more fearful now than I've ever seen them before. Maybe it's just the people I talk to, but I feel there's like such fear.
Where do you think it's coming from?
I think it's coming in big doses from the media. I think the media is saying a lot of things that inculcate fear because they want you to keep watching them. So the more scared you are, the more you keep watching them, as if they're going to now have the news you need to know. I think that's a huge piece. And then I think it's what the world's going through.
Jews, like why? What is
I think religious Jews are affected by the world. And I think, I mean, I don't want to convince anyone. Has anyone else experienced this besides me? The sense of this like heightened fear in, not even personally, in the world?
The virus, that's it.
So I'm saying some people are very scared of the virus. Some people are very scared of the vaccine. Some people are very scared of what governments are doing. Some people are, I mean, you know what I'm saying? And I think once you're in a fear-based mode, you start choking with it. You start just feeling like, and you feel it about many, many other things. Now, again, if none of your acquaintances have this disease, that's awesome. And I'm not trying to convince you that more people have it than have it. But I feel it's a lot in the world. I really feel it is. And I feel the media evokes it a lot. So Dina, you said you've seen that in some people?
Just like
Or maybe also in your career, you see it more. And that's it, just me and Dina?
I see it.
Or you see it also? You see it. Yeah. You see it also, you see it also. Daily.
All the parents are scared of the virus. Until the vaccine came, when we not get all the parents were very scared of it.
But your parents have the vaccine.
But that was until the vaccine came. Now that I have the vaccine, now you have to worry because people with the vaccine are still getting it. Lively.
People are still getting it, sure.
So it's still over.
For sure. I'm just saying, there's things that are more in our life that are scary. And then whatever, we've been through a lot. I think when the world looks at this, they're gonna be, oh my gosh, you people were so battered. I was just like thinking this a few days ago, because like, God, I want Mashiach. And I was thinking what we went through this year. And I just even thinking like, it wasn't so long ago, 3 months in a row, Meron, and then that Shtivel, and then Surfside. I think of all the pain I personally experienced from those events. I'm just one little person. And that happened to all of us. Like we've gone through a lot. And that's what I'm saying. Let's turn around this energy and create positive energy. And if I create positive energy and I'm around you, you're going to be more positive. Just automatically, you're going to pick up my energy and it's going to help you. And then when you're more positive, the people in your lives are going to pick up that energy, not even consciously, and they're going to be more positive. And I think that's a great thing we should do to turn the tide on this fear-based and pain-based reality. There's a lot of pain. We experienced a lot of pain, and that's not a healthy space to be in. All right, so positive tips. One, I mean, you know, the first thing I'm going to say, because I always say it because it's my most basic thing that always works for me. So anything that works for you, you share with others. Write down your gratitudes about your marriage twice a day. We're talking about revitalizing. So we've got to put a lot of energy into it. This isn't like, okay, everything's normal. No, revitalizing means you got to work hard, ladies. So twice a day, and twice a day, I would like you, anyone that's going to listen to me, if you're not listening to me, okay. But if you're listening to me, I'd like you to write down 5 things twice a day about your husband.
Different ones? Like different ones each
I would
time?
like you each time to think of it. For each bracha in your marriage, for each good thing in your marriage. And it could be today because he took out the garbage, that you appreciate that he took out the garbage without asking. If he didn't, then don't write that on your list.
I should be like, thank you for doing that. It's your job, right? I'm with you on that.
No. Don't ever, no, ignore her. No, listen to me, ignore her. Do you make supper every night?
Yes.
Should you be thanked for making supper? Should you be appreciated for making supper, or should you not be appreciated because it's your job? I'm saying at this point, it's a horrible way to say it. Should Miriam be thanked for making supper?
Yes.
Yes, Miriam. No, because you're talking to everyone. You should be thanked for making supper. Well, it's her job. Excuse me. And when the delivery boy comes to your door, lahavdil, and gives you a package, do you say thank you? Am I weird?
Should you think your husband bring home a paycheck every week? Yeah.
Yes. Would you want him not to?
Just give me some really good ideas. You can't have him bring home a paycheck every week. Yeah.
No, I'm just saying, it's just very simply thinking of it. When the delivery boy comes to you and you, I think you say thank you. You say thank you, I say thank you also. You say thank you also. So why in the world do you feel it's appropriate and normal to thank a delivery boy who's getting paid? It's his job, and you say thank you. But for you making supper, nobody should say thank you?
Man.
Nobody should appreciate it? So if somebody should appreciate you making supper, shouldn't someone appreciate your husband doing what he should do and
Yes.
take out the garbage?
Like,
What's the difference? You know, it's not I don't see a difference. And it's a mind shift. You can say, but nobody's thanking me for making supper. Guess what? We're talking about a positivity shift. So when you're going to create that energy, I know for myself, I try to be so makbid when I'm focused. When people come knocking at the door for charity, to be nice, to be gracious, to ask them if they want a drink, to ask if I can give them something to eat. Why? I don't know, because that's how we're supposed to treat people. So I know I'm supposed to treat people to this random person that comes to my door that I'll never see again. But to people in my own life, like, we don't have to be so nice. We shouldn't be so focused on being nice and gracious and pleasant. We don't have to make a nice impression on them. I'm worried to make an impression on this person. I don't know them. They don't know my name. What am I worried to make an impression on them? No, because I know that's how you're supposed to treat people. We all want to be nice and gracious, and if someone's trying to cut into the line of traffic, we like to make room for them if we can. And if someone's standing by the elevator, we both are at the same place, we'll always say, oh, you go first. We're nice people. We know we're supposed to be nice people to absolute strangers who we never met before, who don't know our name, who have no bearing on our life, who will never be able to help us in the future. But we do that. Why? Because that's how we look at people. So we can look at our husbands the same way.
So if you're in a scenario where you're public and your husband does something, you take your husband's side, or do you kind of just show like politeness for the other person, because maybe it's like a little sham or something, like in that case.
Like give me a little more so you can make up a
Okay.
specific situation just so I know what you're saying.
Okay, let's say
The elevator door opens and he dashes it in front of everyone else.
something like that. Do you apologize on his behalf, or are you like, oh, sorry, no, like my husband's like, we're just in a rush, and like, what do you do in that case? You take your husband's side and be like, oh, yes, sorry, we're coming through, or is it like, oh, I'm very sorry about this?
Well, since he's dashing ahead, I don't think you would like hold him back. So, and since you're with him, you're probably gonna go with him. But if I was with him, I would sort of shot very apologetic glances to everyone to sort of mitigate the Chilul Hashem. Like you're sort of playing both sides. You got to go with him because you're, I assume, going together somewhere, and you're not pulling him back because that would be very demeaning to him, and that's not worth it. But at the same time, you could like shot apologetic glances at everyone around while they're all thinking how rude you are.
And then is that something you mentioned later to the husband, being like?
Not necessarily, because maybe you've got lots of other things on the list, and that's not like going to be your top one. If it's not your top one,
Pick and choose your battles.
don't. Yeah, I wouldn't go
What
there.
if it's something different, like he says something not nice to somebody?
In front of you,
Yeah, and you're there.
and he
Or
said
like
something
with
like, give me
rude to
again,
a
make up an
waiter
example.
or something. Rude to a waiter.
It was really rude to a waiter. Again, I think it's the same thing. You pick and choose. You could be super nice to the waiter. You could leave a nicer tip because of it. But you could be nice, but I think exactly what Jenya said, you pick and choose. If that's the top thing on your list, great. But if it's not, I don't know that I would go for it. What people really hate, what we all really hate, is being criticized, is made to feel small, is being taught a lesson. So they're people too, our husbands, which means they also hate being criticized, being made to feel small, being taught a lesson. A lot of people are just like, I'm just trying to teach him, right? I just want him to know how to do it right next time. Who says he wants you to be his teacher?
Wait, there's sometimes you have to.
Again,
Like you're
Pick and
supposed to wear
choose.
this to school. These are not his shoes, it's his brother's shoes. Like you have to sometimes.
but again, if you know that your husband's getting the dress in the morning, excellent, amazing quality. And
Why can't you tell like
and
this is how you
and you know that he's gonna put on the most horrible, clashing, wrong size, somebody else's kid's thing, and if it bothers you, the night before, put it all on a nice little pile, name tagged.
Okay, so what if it's in front of your kids? Do you go back to your kids and demean your husband and be like?
No,
"Daddy,
no.